And welcome to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslick of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. If you know someone who is getting ready to retire, or you yourself are getting ready to retire, you need to pay attention, especially today. Now, we talk about near retirees and all of that all the time on this program, but you need to call your friends and say, listen, Wayne is going to be talking about Social Security today and some of the ways that you can maximize your Social Security. Now, Wayne, as we were talking off the air, you were telling me there's hundreds of ways to get your Social Security?
Yeah, I mean, depending on your background, if you're married, widowed, divorced, single, how you filed your taxes in the past, it all has an effect on your Social Security benefit and how much you're eligible for and when you should take it. And that's kind of what we'd like to talk about today is, when is an opportune time to take your Social Security?
So let's start with where we are today. If someone is a near retiree, they're in their 50s, early 60s, and they've been working at a factory or they've been a professional or whatever throughout their life, when do you start really taking a look at this?
Well, I encourage my clients now, no matter what age. I was meeting with some 30-year-olds recently, and I recommend going to the government website. It's ssa.gov.
Okay.
And you sign up and get a password and log in set up, and you track your Social Security yearly, and not necessarily to track your benefits yearly, but to make sure that your income has been recorded properly over the years.
Okay.
And we've run into instances where people earned a certain amount but didn't get credit for it, and you want to make sure those numbers are correct.
Okay.
And it'll show you. It's like the old form they used to send in the mail.
Right.
Now they want you to go online to get that information, but you need to track that. If you're a couple, you both need to go sign up separately and check out the numbers.
One of the things that and again, we talk about these kinds of things all the time, but not just. The nice thing about having someone like you helping us is you're not just looking at the financial part of it. You're looking at sort of our overall basis. What did we do in the past? What's our plans for the future? All of these things play into this.
Yeah, I mean that's a problem with a lot of the shows, either radio or television that you see out there. Some of the bigger names in the financial industry, they and there's nothing wrong with them, but they just talk blanket statements, and it's different when you take your Social Security, because it does depend on your family makeup, it depends on your health, life expectancy, family history, and you have to weigh all those things together before you make the decision on when to take your Social Security. Most people, they just take it when they can. Right. If they're eligible at 62 and they're not going to be making too much money where they'll get penalized, they take it. And in many instances, that's the worst thing they could do.
Really? Why would that be the worst? Is it just because of the overall financial part of it, or what?
Well, the earlier you take it, that'll be the smaller benefit.
Okay, sure.
Right? So each year, each month you put it off or delay taking it, your benefit goes up.
Okay.
And we run these scenarios for clients. We have the Social Security software where we plug in all their data, and it literally runs, like you mentioned at the open of the show, all the different scenarios, the possible scenarios for that client. And there's hundreds of them. And when you plug in the data for the client and then hit calculate, you see all the different scenarios running. It's eliminating them.
Okay.
Many of them by the second. You can see it calculate. It takes maybe a minute or two for the result to come up.
Okay.
And then it tells you the optimum time to take your benefit, where you're going to get more in your pocket. So, to kind of answer your question, the earlier you take it, the less your payment will be. And there's a break-even point where, if you wait to a certain age, you're going to get a higher payment, but for less years, depending on your life expectancy. If you lived a normal life expectancy, generally speaking, you don't want to take your Social Security at 62.
Okay.
You want to delay it. The longer you live, the longer your life expectancy, the more reason to delay your Social Security payment as long as possible.
Okay.
Someone that takes it at 62 compared to someone making the same income that takes it at 70, that the person that waits till 70 gets a huge payout.
Okay.
Almost double the payout. Instead of 1,000, they're going to get 2,000 or more.
Okay.
So if they live another 20 years, and again, we do all the math for the folks when they come in.
Right.
You can see how the longer you wait, the more will be in your pocket, and in many cases, it's hundreds of thousands more by waiting or doing it a certain way.
Hundreds of thousands more?
Lots, yeah.
Wow.
For the big income earners, the difference is big. Of course,
Sure.
it's many years. If you're 62 and you live to be 90, 92, that's 30 years of payout.
Right.
30 years at 1,000 or
Yeah.
22 years at 2,000. 30. You just do the math there. It's hundreds of thousands.
And that's what you help the folks do, is to sit down and say, okay, here's where I'm at, here's where I'd like to be. You talk to some folks and they say, well, no matter what, I'm retiring at this number because I'm tired of working.
Yeah, well, and again, you don't necessarily have to keep working. I mean, if you have other means, and depending on your overhead and all that, you could still be retired and just delay taking your Social Security. But there's other factors too that we'll get into in the show.
All right. Well, friends, listen. Call your friends and neighbors and have them tune in, and do this. You can get a hold of Wayne at wayne@todaysretirees.com. And the other thing is 866-626-3990. That's Wayne's phone number. Call and make an appointment and sit down with Wayne, and he will help you figure out what is best for you and your family's needs. If you call on the weekend, please leave a name and a number, and one of the ladies will give you a call back. 866-626-3990. When we return, we're going to talk more about Social Security and how it affects you, and when maybe you should start thinking about drawing it, and some of the scenarios that will help you make wise decisions. We'll be back right after this. Or informed decisions.